So I know a lot of people are going to use Strike to take out a loan against their Bitcoin to get access to cash, not have to sell their Bitcoin and not trigger the capital gains. So, like in this example, you can borrow $10,000 if you post 0.21 Bitcoin. You can adjust these sliders to see how much you need to post if you borrow different amounts. But if we just go off the 10,000 example, we would post 0.21 Bitcoin. We get access to that $10,000 and they would lock up that Bitcoin. Now, the issue here is that obviously it's going to have an interest rate, so you're going to pay $1,300 after a year. That's not that big of a deal in my consideration as far as this goes. The biggest issue with doing this is that Bitcoin is extremely volatile, and you have margin calls. And so if you do this right now and Bitcoin drops to 74K, then you're getting margin called. And so you have to put more Bitcoin in there to save it. And I think they only give you like a day to do that. And that's just the margin call price. I don't see on here what the liquidation price is, but I assume that if there was some crazy wick that wicked down past the liquidation price, they would just liquidate it. And then, knowing Bitcoin, the price would jump right back up to almost where it was, and you would have no Bitcoin. So if you don't think this can happen, I'd just like to show you this lovely picture, which is a wick from 2020 during the COVID crash. And this shows the wick down. We went all the way from 7,900 down to 4,600. And this is a 1 day wick. So literally in 1 day, we fell all this way about 40%. Now, do you think if you had taken out a loan against your Bitcoin somewhere up here and went through this COVID crash, do you think you might get margin called? Do you think you might get liquidated? So be aware that what you're doing is extremely risky here. Also,
based on historical patterns and current market analysis, we are likely approaching the peak of Bitcoin's current 4-year cycle, with the apex anticipated between Q3 and Q4 of 2025. 2013 peak, 1 year post-halving. 2017 peak, 1.5 years post-halving. 2021 peak, 1.5 years post-halving, XT. Com. The most recent halving occurred in April 2024, suggesting a potential peak in late 2025.
So just in case the cycles hold up and we're at or approaching the all-time highs and entering a bear market towards the end of this year, do you really want to be holding a loan against your Bitcoin that's just going to slowly depreciate over the next 2 years and bleed out, causing you to add more and more collateral just to keep that loan? Just something to think about. I'm not saying this is a bad choice in all circumstances, but I think a lot of people are going to get wrecked on this product, and so just be wary.